officials and local leaders have clashed over their differing characterizations of a fatal shooting by an immigration and customs enforcement officer in Minneapolis. President Trump's administration described the killing of 37-year-old mother Renee Nicole Macklin Good as an act of self-defense. Minneapolis officials dispute that narrative. Here's what to know. Macklin Good was shot in her car in front of a family member in a residential area south of downtown Minneapolis. Videos taken by bystanders show officers approaching an SUV stopped in the middle of the road. The Honda Pilot begins to pull forward, and a different ICE officer standing in front of the vehicle pulls his weapon and immediately fires at least 2 shots into the vehicle at close range, jumping back as the vehicle moves toward him. It's not clear from the videos if the vehicle makes contact with the officer. The SUV then speeds into 2 cars parked on a curb nearby before crashing to a stop. Witnesses can be heard shouting out in shock. Macklin Good died of gunshot wounds to the head. She described herself on social media as a poet, writer, wife, and mother from Colorado. The ICE officer has not been publicly identified. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem described him as an experienced officer and said his actions were justified.
Our officer followed his training, did exactly what he's been taught to do in that situation, and took actions to defend himself and defend his fellow law enforcement officers.
Local leaders dispute that narrative.
They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people.
Hundreds of people descended on the scene to protest the shooting. It's at least the 5th death to result from the aggressive U.S. immigration crackdown the Trump administration launched last year.
Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAHSHI'S the bonds, the apostles of GMS, and sincere shalom to the brothers out here pushing his truth and sincerity. So, here, apparently, this is not another surprising shooting. Because when you look at the person, I don't think she's Hispanic. She just looks full on white or Edomite. But apparently, they have more shootings like this that's unrelated to to immigrants. So, wasn't this the time that everybody was talking about Happy New Year's? This happened on January 6th, probably the 5th. It hasn't even been a month yet before shit that already kicked off. So what happened to the Happy New Year's? Everybody was so gun ho and saying to everybody. I mean, this is probably a good Happy New Year now, because we get to see new BS that riles up all these people, and they come together to, I guess, protest for what, a month, and then they go back to their normal daily lives. Not very much is being done here. You heard 3 shots go off. That woman's dead, and I have the other video up to show. But I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to have to show the whole 3 minutes, so I figured I'd make it quick. But that woman got shot in the head, blood all into the airbag and everything. It actually shows that the woman, after she got shot, got hit a car and hit a pole, and then she was just dead on impact. So, and then they have, of course, they do the usual here. They do the chanting. And then that's it. They'll do this for about a month, and then they're gone. Funny enough. So when you go into Psalms 34:21, it says, "Evil shall slay the wicked." And of course, when you go into the word evil, it means bad times. So bad times is gonna give these people a hell of a time. Lots of killings and everything. Esau is letting the leash off. They showing the horns, and people can't fathom that y'all go through the same thing every time. And Esau knows it, because that's why he capitalized off these situations. Happy New Year's every year, and people still can't see it. It's been how many generations now? Every year gets worse, and people are still saying it, just so it still stay worse. So Esau knows the mindsets of these people. He'll let them riot, or should I say, protest, he'll let them mess up a couple of stores, let it get out of their system, and then they go back to normal. It's easy. It's very easy to manipulate these people. Whether this is planned or not planned, Esau knows that it's the same thing every time. And so what it does is it leaves these people on a crutch. They don't know what to do. They don't have no next plan. They know they can't just rise up against the government as much as they love saying it. So what happens? The same thing. They just fall back. They slump their shoulders, and that's it. So when martial law kicks in, because everybody knows once martial law kicks in, you might as well hang it up. Even if you were to start a riot, they are quick to pull the trigger, and there will not be no news on it. It will just be a casual thing where they just start gunning down people if they do not comply. This is no different. This is an immigration police department that's killing regular civilians now. It's probably been doing it for the past year now. So when martial law kicks in, people know not to stand up to them, and for ones that do, especially when this place starts closing down, yeah, that's when they start setting checkpoints, garrisons, all sorts of shit. And if you do not comply, that's off with you. It'll be just as easy as how this guy shot down this woman named Renee. So this is Jeremiah 51 and 58. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken." Now, this ain't talking about or wall, America's walls being broken, literally, but the infrastructure, everything that goes on, even the currency, shall be broken. It says, "And the high gates shall be burned with fire." Now, even with the high gates, you could go into the imagery of this place, or including the things that keeps this place floating, which would be the hospitals, the police departments, fire stations, major things that keep this place floating is not going to be a thing no more. Everybody will have to fend for themselves, but all the things that's keeping this place afloat will no longer really be a thing. It says, "And the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire they shall be weary." And that's exactly what happened with these people. Every year, something going wrong. These people labor in vain, especially since everything the value of the dollar is dropping more and more. So this being a riot for these people is not surprising. They're tired of all the things that's going on. That's the weariness, but they can't do nothing for it, which is why they labor in vain. Yeah, they'll go home, think about their families, and go back to work, then come out doing this. But what is it for? See, at least with us, we're accomplishing something. We're accomplishing a whole lot because we're out here to wake up the hopeful elect that the Lord tells us to do. That is a price and a payment that far exceeds anything Esau can give us. But these people, they may even have good careers, but what they're doing with it is not benefiting. They have nothing to really do anything with. It's like maybe I should say they can't do nothing with it. Like all this stuff they're doing is for vain. No justice, no peace. Well, that's exactly what you're going to get. No justice, which means there will be no peace. There will only be chaos until Esau is ready to implement the things that he needs to do to create a forced order, whether it's through Trump or any other person after him. So what you're seeing is just another trial run, because we know it's not going to last long. And even if it does kind of get out of control, again, National Guard and martial law kicks in. What are people going to do then? This is Micah 6:12. This will be the last scripture. It says, For the rich men thereof are full of violence. The inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. And see, this what this reminds me of is also Psalms 55:21, where it says the words in his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And then the last part was says, yet they drawn swords, Slakia, which means they'll say the pretty speeches, but they'll expect to hand you that blade into your neck or into your back. Now, funny enough, in this particular video, they actually had Trump speak about it, and she actually labeled her as a terrorist. The civilian was labeled as a terrorist from trying to get away from these guys. Just sitting in a car, mind you. Car was blocked off by ICE and the protesters. And boom, that happens. So they're making it well known they don't give a shit about these people. They just cattle meant to work meant to slave in a corporate country. See, these other countries actually have care for their people, but America is just a business, one that they get auctioned off to whoever they want if they feel like it. That's why uh, Britain owns this place. Hell, even the U.S. Postal is not even owned by this place. That's why they can give fast food or any other business to China. Every country basically owns this place. Why? Because this place owes debt to everybody. I'm not talking about the uh all the Israelites here, even though Esau's going to owe a blood debt from that. But the debt that from Esau going around every country and evading, he owes money to everybody. So this place is basically owned to everybody until, well, of course, owned by Esau, but working under these other countries, which is funny in itself, honestly. So going back to Micah 6:12, it says, "For the rich men thereof are full of violence." As you saw, the Trump gave the good the go ahead. You know, if you guys quote unquote self defend yourself, shoot them. I'll mark them as a terrorist. They is it are these? You see, this is the thing with anybody you put in office. It does not matter. They still work under these rats, which means they will always be violence. That's why every year gets worse, and people can never see it. Honestly, hilarious about it. Honestly, but to continue, it says the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, which means your mayors, your senators, all this other stuff. Anybody that's a public speaking figure, even defending or even quote unquote pretending to go against them, because you do have that, even with the guy that says you're destroying families. Wouldn't be surprised if he's in on it. So y'all got to follow a curriculum too, just like at school, right? So they'll gain the people's favor and be on that side and express, yeah, they need to get out. The whole time he's just shucking his job at them, just calming them down, making it seem like he's actually going to do something. Basically, gaining the trust of the people that make and leave the work in the speaker's hand while they sit back and think we're awaiting justice, and they will never get that. The only justice that's going to be given is the destruction of this place and the collection of the hopeful elect that the Lord's coming back for. That is the justice to be redeemed by the Heavenly Father and actually placed in our rightful rulership. This is a dystopia. Crying out for justice in a dystopian land does not make sense. That's like having oil and water. They do not mix. Just like utopia and dystopia does not mix. That is why the fires of this place will be cleansed. Not to be set up as the righteous place next. This is just to wipe this place off the face of the earth because how corrupted it is. But I'm gonna continue. It says their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. This is still going back to when I was talking about how these politicians and senators and mayors and all these public speaking figureheads will try to, either calm down the people or try to rile them up just to gain favor, just to still do the same work as the ones that they're pretending to go against. So, and then what happens, and I noticed this, every time there's a riot, there's um, actually, when it comes to stuff like this, I noticed there's what should I call it? Not a GoFundMe, but a new, uh, I call it a new rebellion, but a new protest and money grab that they'll like to do. They'll like BLM. They'll start stuff like this, especially when it comes to our people, and grab and try to use it for all the money they can get out of these people. And these people are suckers for it every time. But don't be surprised when they start doing more of this, not just with ICE, but more police brutality and all this other stuff. And then National Guard kicks in, and then last but not least, martial law. It's only given time. None of this stuff acts fast, but it's a given time. So, Lord willing, this was a little edifying with that, Shalom.